Welcome back to SnowRunner. In this video I want to talk to you about trucks and the fact that the level 26 Azov 4220 Antarctic, in my opinion, is not the best truck in the game. If anything, I believe not necessarily a starter truck, but it should be a truck that unlocks early. I mean, it's heavy, it's got 71-inch tyres, so it does pull its weight through the terrain, through mud, and it does it very well. But there are more problems with the truck than what there are benefits to using it. So the benefits would be that it's got huge tyres, the fact that it's got incredible pulling power, but the things that let it down, for me personally, is the fact that it has hydraulic steering. So when you are turning a corner, the front of the truck, the cab, actually turns and is separate from the trailer. And in this game, trailers don't have maneuverable wheels. The wheels are locked on the axles. So when you turn this 4220 Antarctic, it kind of pulls the back of the truck along. If you have a sideboard bed, it's going to drag it around corners instead of it being a smooth turn. And I play on Xbox, so it could be completely different on other platforms. But that's a big downfall for me because there's a lot of corners and stuff that you would take in a truck that big, and it's just not that good. You get stuck a lot of the time, and I want it to be a smooth drive. I don't want to be dragging my arse end of the truck round corners. The fuel consumption is decent. It's not amazing, but it's not too bad. But the biggest problem with this truck is that it's so top heavy. There's an extra portion of the cab that it just seems as though it's sitting there and there's no purpose to it. It's just an empty bit of a cab, and that makes it incredibly top heavy. So a lot of corners you would be able to take with, let's say, the Caterpillar CT680 or something like the Fleet Star. You're not going to be able to do it so well with the 4220 Antarctic because it's so prone to tipping. So from the gameplay you can see, that is my opinion of the best truck in the game. Ever since I've unlocked it, I believe it's level 24 to unlock. And you need to go over to Taimyr in Russia to actually buy it. Then you can bring it back and use it on the American maps. But it is an Azov, and it's the 64-131. This truck is an absolute machine. I haven't even, there are a few trucks I've not used in this game. So in the comments, if you let me know your thoughts on the best truck in the game. I haven't used too many, but I've tried at least 3 or 4, well, actually a few more than that. I've tried the Derry Longhorn, which is the Oshkosh. I've tried the Caterpillar CT680. I've tried the Pacific P12, the Fleet Star, the Navistar. And nothing comes close to this 64-131. It's got insane pulling power. It can pull anything. I went and did, can't remember the name of the truck, but there's a truck sort of mid-Smithville Dam in Michigan. And the route you have to go to pull it, you have to pull it back up a hill. And this Azov is the only truck I've used and had no problems with at all. It's got decent sized tyres. All-wheel drive is always on. Differential lock is always on. So it's going to be a little bit slower, but this isn't no racing game. This is a game where your objective is to go and pick up cargo and deliver it to other areas. It's like a cargo delivery simulator. So speed doesn't matter, although the Azov 64-131 is fairly slow. And this Azov 64-131, the fuel consumption is amazing. It barely uses anything. I've done contracts that actually take you from map to map and barely used over 100 litres, and they're long drives. The pulling power is insane. It's not too top heavy. It is a little bit on the heavier side, but it's not over the top to the point where you're going to tip all the time. I believe it's got high gear, auto, low gear, and you don't even need to be in low gear. You can keep it in auto as long as you've got the correct tyres on. So if you're in Alaska, you would use chain tyres. If you're in Taimyr or Michigan, you would go for mud tyres. You can get an engine for this truck that will increase the speed. It gives you a 5th gear, but at the same time it does increase your fuel consumption. Not too much, but I mean, if you do find it on the really slow end of things, you can get an upgrade to give yourself an extra gear and increase your overall speed a little bit. And honestly, out of all of my hours, I believe I'm well over 60-70 hours into this game now. Out of all of my hours, I've never driven a truck that is so nice to drive. The interior looks pretty good if you enjoy driving in cockpit view. And I can't, off the top of my head, really think of a downfall. If you're going through slushy mud, just leave it in auto and there will be a couple of times where you feel as though you're getting stuck, but the power will just push through. As differential lock's always on, all-wheel drive's always on, you will push through. If not, you can wriggle your stick, like if you're on controller, so that you twist your wheels, and that can get you out of situations. But there's a lot of areas, let's use Michigan for example, in Black River, where I've had to use the winch to get out of the slushy mud, and the Azov literally just plows through it with no problems at all. So if you do have the means to use it, I would strongly recommend going with the Azov 64131. But just remember, it's a Russian truck, so in order to buy it, you need to go over to Taimyr, buy the truck, and then you can retain it in your garage and take it back to America if you're still doing tasks and contracts over there. So that is my opinion on the best truck in the game. I literally see no purpose to use any other truck, and that's going to do it for the video. Let me know your thoughts and stuff in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.